The new season's been out for a day and we've found loads of new things, like an animation Respawn promised to us years ago finally been added, Horizon becoming evil, broken battle passes, and also the biggest Apex controversy we've had in a while. To start off with the controversy, this season was always going to be very controversial, considering Respawn changed the time to kill, which is such a big part of Apex's gameplay, and part of the identity of the game. If you're not aware, in Apex, time to kill is essentially the amount of constant damage it takes to kill someone in Apex, and because of the updates this season where Respawn buffed every weapon, capped the armor at purple and removed helmets, it takes a super short amount of time to kill someone now. There's currently wars being fought on Reddit and Twitter about the time to kill change, and I'm going to give you my opinion and then everyone else's opinion, because obviously my opinion is only as good as the next guy's opinion really. After playing a few hours in the season 24 playtest and also a few hours today with the new update, I can confidently say I am enjoying the new time to kill more, because it does make engagement feel more deliberate and does make you rely more on your teammates, because you can go down in a second and then your teammates have to get you up. Also, it does feel like every single gun is viable right now and can actually be used in a fight, although some are blatantly too powerful, like the Rampage feels a bit too overpowered, and also the Eva 8 is too overpowered in my opinion. That thing hits harder than it should. But honestly, despite enjoying these changes a lot, I do think everyone needs about a week with this update to truly see if they like it. I like it right now but might hate it in a week. You hate it right now but might like it in a week. So honestly, I think everyone should kind of wait a bit and test this update out for themselves. On social media right now, everyone is really outspoken about time to kill, and some people love it and some people hate it. Like this post on Reddit saying, "You go down so fast. The gunplay always felt so good in Apex. Just why? I don't even have time to react." And there are comments agreeing with this sentiment, but others also arguing against it. Like this user who said, "From the way you guys have been talking, you move out of cover a little bit and you're insta dead. Not gonna lie, I'm average and this just isn't happening in my games. What the heck are you guys doing?" To which another user replied, "They are used to running out in the open. Shows lack of game sense." With other comments under this post saying, "I thought like you at first, but after a good handful of matches on my team, I felt like we started to get the flow of it. It's essentially the same as before, only more condensed, if that made sense. You've got to adjust your internal timing on when you need to seek cover, but a well-timed push is more rewarding now and in many ways easier since you actually take them down on the push. You just got to react fast while keeping track of the location of the target teammates so you're not jumping into a trap. But this is all about updating the gameplay instinct. Maybe the time to kill is a bit short now, but minor tweaks are needed in my honest opinion. Overall, I think this benefits the gameplay. And these two opinions are two things that must be considered, because at the end of the day, all of us are used to playing Apex where it takes like 3 seconds shooting someone straight to down them. And now we're shooting someone for like half a second and they're going down. This is a situation where adaptation is genuinely needed because the game has been shaken up so much, but when everyone's adapted, maybe it may benefit the game, but we don't really know at the minute. And like I said, I think we all need more time on this update to truly give our true opinion of the update. All I'm going to say is, if your first few games are bad, it's only natural. So much has changed, you've got to adapt to the new changes. But who knows, maybe Respawn changed too much and will revert some aspects in future updates. Honestly, everyone's opinion is totally valid in the time to kill conversation. So of course, absolutely flood the comments with your opinions. But moving on, you may remember a few years ago in the Fight Night update, Respawn promised they were going to add a door kick animation for Caustic's heirloom. If you're not aware, many heirlooms in the game have special hit animations for when the heirlooms are hitting a door, and Caustic's heirloom was meant to have one but never got one. Until yesterday, when one of the Respawn animators put this on Twitter, and instantly I knew what they had added. But I don't own a Caustic heirloom, so I had to wait for a post, and finally this guy on Reddit found it. Absolutely brilliant. This is Caustic's new door kick animation. It isn't anything specifically crazily flashy, but it is nice to have more variety in the animations, and something that has been promised to us. I guess it eventually came. Unfortunately though, this was the only heirloom in the update to receive new animations, which means for the first half of the season there are no new heirloom recolors coming, so no new heirloom overhauls. Moving on, also with this new update, Ash broke a world record. Today, Ash hit the highest recorded Legends pick rate since the records began, which was in Season 9. Obviously, when Apex first came out, Wraith probably had a 50% pick rate, but also when Apex came out, there weren't 26 Legends in the game. What is this new pick rate for Ash? It's 25.6%, which is huge. She is followed by Ballistic at a 10% pick rate, and Lifeline has dropped down to a 9%. This is extremely healthy, and it's probably because Ash's dodge is very, very powerful. And honestly, I'm just going to tell you the absolute absolute life hack I discovered. Use Ashe and her dodge with the Eve 8. You can confuse people, jump around them, and just hit them with that train of a weapon. But new Ashe is a load of fun. Her arc snare actually feels great, and also you can now throw off the arc snare with your offhand instead of having to holster your weapon. I know this has been a change for a while, but a lot of people haven't touched Ashe since she came out, so they probably don't even know they added this. Also, the sped up portal animations make pushing brilliant. Ashe is so fantastic right now. Unfortunately though, there are a few issues people have found. First of all, there's an R301 challenge that isn't tracking that developers have addressed, but even worse, in the Legend Spotlights, which cost 1000 Apex coins each, one of the challenges is genuinely impossible. This is the Bangalore challenge of damage 5 enemies with your smoke launcher, which is totally impossible because the smoke launcher no longer does damage. Okay, it used to do damage, but Respawn nerfed it. It doesn't do damage to enemies anymore. This means many people are stuck from finishing the Bangalore Legend Spotlight right now and can't get that final legendary pack because of a lack of playtesting, if we're completely honest with each other, which does majorly suck. But Respawn are obviously going to patch this one pretty soon, so don't worry if you have bought the Bangalore Legend Spotlight, but if you're thinking of buying it, maybe wait for Respawn to fix this. There's also another change you may have noticed, but only if you spent money, once again. As you may remember, in the last milestone event, Respawn released this Horizon skin with a special select animation, and this skin is essentially meant to be the evil version of Horizon, and when it came out, the only special thing about the select was the animation, but with the new update, Respawn gave it some voice lines as well. So now we have official evil Horizon voice lines, and just listen to this lady. She's trying so hard to be evil. I don't think she's got it in her.
Black holes didn't help. Oh, the universe isn't ready for me, dearies.
I would imagine when Apex remembers it has lore, this evil version of Horizon is going to play a part in it, because she was spotted in the Season 23 launch trailer, and that's just about it, apart from her skin release. But I would imagine this is like an alternate universe version of Horizon that's probably going to mess up the current universe version. Very confusing stuff, because Respawn essentially have sold a cosmetic for a character that hasn't really been introduced into the Apex lore. Pretty confusing stuff. Continuing with lore, one thing I did notice in the challenge section is the lack of comics this season. It doesn't seem like we've got an animated comic this season, which does suck, and it feels like the lore this season has essentially been frozen. In the launch trailer, we didn't really get much context to the lore. In fact, we got zero, and in the gameplay trailer, we got none either. So maybe this is just going to be a season with no story, I guess. Maybe that's the new direction this is all going in. And also, with this season, there's one change that we should have had ages ago, but luckily Respawn have added it. Now you can get badges in pubs when there's a takeover active. For example, the Rampart takeover is active where she drops the care package weapons, and you can still earn badges despite this being active. Unlike last season, where Rift Relics were active the whole season, which completely disabled anybody earning badges in pubs throughout the whole season, even though Rift Relics weren't of that much impact to the game. So if you want to earn a badge, you can finally do it again. This is well needed. Regarding the season on a whole though, I do feel like the changes made were awesome. Still in their early days though, they may need some tweaks like nerfs to certain weapons and maybe changes to armor values, but it's a very ambitious update. I do like it, although now I'm playing it and have played it for a bit, I do feel like it's a bit lacking in content. There should have been just something more, like a map update or a legend. It just feels a bit empty, honestly. What are your thoughts though? I genuinely want to know, so comment them.